Hi, welcome. So I thought tonight that I'd like to do this in a different way. So because we're going to explore open focus, Tai Chi and open focus, I thought we'd start with an open focus meditation. And then we'll do our Tai Chi once we've established that feeling of open focus. So I just thought it's an interesting experiment and I'd love to know how you like it. So let's start with a nice, simple open focus exercise. So when we're paying, open focus is a way of paying attention. So normally, say if you're looking at this now and you're listening to me, normally you'll be narrowing your focus in to pay attention to what I'm saying and to hearing it and to engaging and all that. So while you're doing that, notice now that you can see not just the screen that you're looking at, but that you can see the space around the screen. So tune in. So for the first minute or two, keep the eyes open, and I'll talk about open focus with the eyes open. So when you're paying attention in an open focus, you're allowing yourself to pay attention not just to what you're looking at, but to the space all around. So you can also see the space in the screen all around me, the space in the room around me, but also notice the space around whatever screen you're looking at. And also allow yourself to notice any sounds that are happening. So open your focus to notice the sounds maybe in your own house in the background, sounds outside, and also the sounds that are going on in your head, thoughts that will be coming up, wondering what this is going to be like. All of that is opening our focus. So we can work in a narrow focus where you're just really concentrating and listening and looking and just blocking out everything else, which is quite tense inducing. Or we can just relax back and pay attention to what's happening, but also notice all the space around. And when we include the space around and we open our focus, our neurology calms down. So you might notice already if you've just been opening to the space around and to the feelings, the thoughts running through your mind, not trying to block anything out, just opening up to the full experience, everything tends to calm down. The body tends to relax, the mind tends to relax. So that's what I mean by open focus. So now I'm going to do, and the space is really important. Anytime you start noticing space, say as I notice the space around in the room now, as I can even be looking at this, but feeling and noticing the space all around. So for a moment, just feel the space in the room where you're sitting. Feel the space all around you. And you notice that that feeling of space will tend to calm the mind. So let's just spend a little bit of time getting into this feeling of openness and space. And then when we do the Tai Chi, I'd just like you to experience what it's like once we've opened our attention and opened all our feelings, and then we practice. So you can experience what it's like to do this after the meditation, rather than what we usually do is do the meditation after our practice. So you can do both work, but this is just an interesting experiment for you to try. So now that you have an idea of what I'm talking about, we're going to do an open focus exercise. And for this, you can have your eyes closed if you like, or you can keep the eyes open. Either way, it works. So let's feel the presence of the whole body, all the feelings, all the sensations in your body. And while we're feeling all the sensations, emotions, thoughts in the body, let's also feel the space all around the body. The space up to the ceiling and down to the floor, the space in front and the space behind and at the sides of the body. Notice the feeling of the space in this room where you're practicing, where you're sitting. And now let's imagine feeling the space through the ceiling, through the atmosphere, all the way out to the ends of infinity above us. And then let's imagine feeling the space to infinity in front of the body and behind the body, through the walls, through the atmosphere, past all the stars, the galaxies, to the ends of infinity and even beyond. And now let's imagine feeling that space to infinity on the right-hand side and the left-hand side of the body. And now let's imagine as well feeling the space to infinity below the body, through the earth, through the atmosphere, out past all the stars, the galaxies, all the way to the ends of infinity and even beyond. So now just imagine feeling yourself in this vast, vast eternal space. Notice what this space feels like to you. Imagine what it tastes like and what it smells like. Imagine all the time that's gone before and all the time there is to come. And just allow yourself to rest for now in this eternal now, with nothing to do right now. Just allow yourself to rest in this spacious experience of now. And now in this vast experience of now, just imagine hearing the silence in this vast, vast eternal space. And now also notice the thoughts, the feelings that arise in this vast, vast eternal space of now. Now in this expanded, vast space, imagine just feeling the whole space inside your body. The space in the head, all the space inside in your chest, all the space. Imagine the space that your right arm occupies and feeling all the space inside in that arm. Then imagine feeling the space that your left arm occupies, all the space inside in that arm. Imagine feeling the space that your torso occupies, all the space inside in the torso. Then imagine feeling the space inside in the right leg, all the space it occupies, and the left leg. Imagine the space inside your whole body. Imagine now your whole body being filled with space, surrounded by space, and permeated by space. Now, if your eyes are closed, just allow the eyes to open. And keep that sense of space. Notice the space in the room. And now bring your attention into the right hand. And just, if it's resting, just pick up your right hand and bring your thumb and your index finger. Just feel the space that's between the thumb and the index finger as you bring them close together until they're almost touching. And then stretch that space open. Without looking at the hand, just feel the space between the thumb and the index finger as they get close together, and then stretch it open. And then you can also feel the space. Now bring your hands up and feel the space. Imagine feeling the space between your hands and stretching it open. Feeling the space between the fingers. Feeling the space between the thumb and the index finger. So we're just tuning into this feeling of space. Seeing the space, feeling the space, feeling the space inside in our body and around our body. Okay, so now that we've established this feeling of space, we're going to do our mini form now with this open, focused feeling of space, just to experience what this is like, having tuned into that feeling of space. So I'm just going to move the chair over to the side. And let's just stand for a moment. Need to move this, just turn down this, just a little bit down. So now pause while you take a moment to get yourself organized if you need to move your chair or something. And let's just feel the hands resting at the sides of the body. Feel that space that's there between your legs as you stand with the legs shoulder width. Imagine feeling that space and see the space in the room all around. And just allow the thoughts to come and go and all your sensations to be here. And then we're going to sink, relaxing down into the feet and feeling that space between the arms as the arms float up and down. We turn to the left and make the ball and then step left, feeling that sense of space and silence. We come into white crane spread wings and then softly float the right hand down. Step with the left, brush in, push, feeling yourself in this space. Noticing all the objects around you and the space. Space between the arms. Opening to the space, relaxing into the space, melting. So let's do that again. And this time, let's do one quietly. So you can we're just going to start together and just tune into that feeling of space. See the space all around, up to the ceiling, down to the floor, and feel it. Feel the space between your hands, the space as we sit down between the hands and the ground. Okay, and we begin. So then as we finish, just feel what that feels like. To just relax into your own space that the body occupies and into the space all around, above and below, in front and behind, and on all sides of the body. Okay, so now let's do one more mini form together, just feeling, allowing yourself to feel into the space and the silence. So when we pay attention to that space of silence, everything as well begins to relax and soften and be at ease. So we're going to sink into this silent space, allowing the thoughts and feelings to arise in this space and dissolve back into them. We just make this lovely ball of energy, this space in here in the arms, and we open it up, tuning into the space that we are just floating through. Feel as we press and as we stretch the space open. Feeling the space between the arms as they sink down and they move up. Space between the legs as we step. Letting yourself just flow and relax and soften into the space. Okay, so now we're going to do one short form together in this feeling of spaciousness and ease and relaxation. So I'll call it out every now and then, but we'll go quietly as well. So until you have lots of space, this space of quiet for us to experience the spaciousness and the practice in that soft, quiet way. Okay. So let's stand for a moment again and just feel the space all around, up to the ceiling, down to the floor, space in front and behind, and at the sides of the body. We just feel ourselves in this space. Notice the silence and the sounds that are happening in the silence. The sensations in the body and the thoughts in the mind. And we're just going to allow it all to be here, this full open experience where everything is allowed. And then we're going to sink into the right. And relax. We turn on the heel of the right. Feel this ball between the hands and then open up. Ward off left. Ward off right. Tune into the space as we turn left and right to the center, opening the space in front of the body, sinking into the front leg. So we stretch up into single quick and feel that space as we draw the hands together, and then we softly let them float down. step back. White crane spreads wings, and then softly feeling that space in front of the body and seeing the space as we float into that left foot. Play guitar. And brush leftly and push. And then feel the space between the arms as we sink back. Relax into the left. Sink into the right. Step. And then withdraw, feeling that lovely space around the body. And sinking forward. And then we're just going to turn the heel of the left, opening to cross hands. And then feeling, step around with the right, pull and push, roll back. Press, opening the space in front of the body, and then squeezing it as we push. And then floating on the space as we come into the left foot, making the hook and bowl, single whip. Then adjusting here, step with the right, floating into punch under elbow. So we open up again and step back for repulse the monkey, feeling the space between the arms stretch open here. Step back with the right, pull and push. So feel the space as we push with the right. And then we're going to turn and make the ball. It's like we're gathering the space here. Step right around and stretch that open. And see beyond the hands to the space all around as we step up. So feel yourself floating through this space, making the hook. So sink down through the space and turn the left foot out. And then golden roosters. Cross the hands. And softly toe kick. Turn through the space. See the space in your room as you're turning. And crossing the hands and then open out again. Fold the left hand over, brush past the knee, sink forward, left, right, needles at sea bottom. Then feel this lovely space between the arms as we sink into the right and we stretch that space open. Sink the right hand to the dantian, feeling lovely space around your body and strike. And then roll back and split. Step around with the right. Punch, feeling the space, seeing the space. Brush right knee and push. Turn on the heel of the right. Brush left knee. Feel you're pushing through that space as you sink down. And then up through the space. And again, roll back. seeing, feeling, smelling and tasting this space. And now, fair ladies, so it feels almost like you're sculpting, painting, tracing the space. Like we're leaving little trails of energy in the space, trails of awareness and intention. We'll open up again for squatting single whip. Crossing the arms, floating through the space. Sweet lotus. And then hammer down through the space and split. Gathering back. Sinking into the right. Feeling that space and seeing it as we punch with the right. Open. And push through that space. And then opening the whole body in awareness. Feeling and drawing the energy in. Now as we finish the form, just again, feel the presence of the whole body. Feel the space all around the body. Space inside. The space in the mind. And just notice how your body is feeling and your mind is feeling. Okay. So, a short practice of Tai Chi in open focus. So I hope you enjoyed it and just let me know and we can do that another night again. So thanks for being here. Lovely to share it with you and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.